I get African queens and African king inside my studio this morning, and then they with me this morning to come follow us talk. I've been on telling her before, say then go follow us talk about Parkinson disease, and then everything we concern Parkinson, where you need to know, where you need to learn. This morning, make I go with the ladies first. I get the founder of Parkinson'S Africa, Motola Famous. I greet you, Motola, this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes, and also I can't get another person. We come from the Desalu Parkinson's Foundation. No, from the Parkinson's Foundation. Now she be the chair, board of trustees. Adeumi Desalu. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, so and of course, yes, I can't get this one. Then go say a big masquerade. Now you go call last. Big masquerade because he come from the abroad, the other side. Now then come from. I get this man now retired army general, and then army colonel, retired army colonel. Now in be and then in him na guy, Deacon CBE. And in day with the Parkinson disease people too. Good morning to you, guy.
Good morning.
Yes, and how are you? How are you seeing Nigeria so far?
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Getting across the border was a bit complicated, but now that I'm here, I'm very happy, and everybody's extremely friendly and welcoming.
Thank you. And then have they taught you the pidgin word yet?
No.
So when they tell you how you day, you will say I day.
I'll try and remember that. I normally say
day.
I day.
Yes, that's it. So when they say how you day,
I day.
that's it. That you got it. Yes. So
I've cracked it. I'm like a local now.
All right. So, Guy, so tell us about, let me start with you first. So tell us a brief history about your journey with, I heard that you drive a long distance and then you do all that. So tell us a short brief about yourself, quickly.
I was in the army for a full career, and I left the army in November 2019.
Okay.
And I'd always planned on doing this journey from the top of Africa in Morocco all the way down to South Africa. And I've been planning it since I was a young officer and I first joined the army. And I was going to do it when I retired because that's when I had the time. I then got Parkinson's, and I decided I was still going to do it to prove to people that even if you've got Parkinson's, you can still do what you want to do if you try hard enough. It's a bit more difficult, but it's still possible to live your dreams. And that's been my aim.
And you did it and you achieved it, right?
Well, I haven't quite finished yet because I'm here in Nigeria and I have a few countries still to go through.
Wow.
But I was stopped by COVID, of course.
Okay. So how long did has it taken you so far from when you started and then where you are right now? How long? It took you like a year to achieve or what?
Well, 2 years were waiting back in the UK for COVID to clear.
Okay.
And my vehicle was stuck in Sierra Leone.
Wow.
And it took me about 4 or 5 months to get to Sierra Leone because I was taking my time and taking it very gently and enjoying the countries I was passing through.
Wow.
And now I've set off again in April this year, and I've got as far as Nigeria, and I have a few more countries to go till I complete my mission.
Whoa, that is a big feat to achieve. Congratulations so far on what you've achieved so far. All right, so Motola, just a quick one. Parkinson's Africa. Can you tell us what it's all about, and then why the foundation? Why did you start off the Parkinson's Africa?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I moved to the U.S. I think in 2000, and I was there for 13 years. And somewhere in the middle of around 2010, I noticed a slight twitch in my right hand.
Okay.
And to cut a really long story short, 5 years later, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. When I got diagnosed, I realized that there were not enough support services for Africans impacted by Parkinson's disease, and that was what drew the inspiration for me to found and establish Parkinson's Africa, which is an organization that was established to support and empower Africans impacted by Parkinson's.
Oh, okay. So, let me just quickly ask Maureen, please, what is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disease that affects the brain function.
Okay.
And it's basically when a part of your brain stops producing a substance called dopamine. And that dopamine is one of those that help your movement. So Parkinson's becomes a movement disability. People have difficulty with their gait, difficulty with walking, shuffling feet, frozen face. It affects your voice. It affects your executive function. Then you have shakes. A lot of Parkinson's patients have the shakes, which disturbs you from doing so many things, carrying food, drinking water. And then there's a lot of things you cannot see, anxiety, depression, there's some paranoia, you lose your self-esteem, so many things that just disrupt your regular living. That is Parkinson's disease, and right now it's the fastest growing neurodegenerative disease in the whole world.
Oh.
It is something that tends to affect people over the age of 60,
Okay.
more than anything else. But as you can see, Omotola is here, and she has young onset Parkinson's. And one of our heroes, Michael J. Fox, was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 29. And incidentally, today's his birthday. I think Michael J. Fox should be 63 today. 60 or 63, but yes. But he's one of those that has been my hero, just watching how he decided it wasn't going to take him down and how he put all his power into looking for a cure for Parkinson's disease. Which I think, if I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at 29, I would fight to see that, to get a solution to it. And I believe the Michael J. Fox Foundation has raised over $800 million in over 30 years now to find a cure for Parkinson's.
Okay, so I was actually going to that question of age, but now you've said that already. You say 60, mostly from 60, but now even younger than 60.
It's rare. Young onset Parkinson's is not as big a population, but I know Motola will tell you a little bit more about that. It's really mostly people over 60, 65. Yes, that she has more of the statistics, but I believe it's like 4%.
Yeah, I think it's between 4 and 10. It depends on the region.
It depends on the region, yes.
Okay, so basically what's the cause of Parkinson's? What's the cause?
So nobody really knows what causes Parkinson's disease, but researchers suspect that there is a genetic and an environmental link to Parkinson's. So, either somebody has some form of a gene mutation, or exposure to toxic chemicals like pesticides, or a combination of both. But the biggest risk factor for Parkinson's is increasing age. The older you get, particularly above 60, you are more at risk of getting Parkinson's. But like she said, I got diagnosed at 35 and my symptoms started at 29.
Okay, so Nigerians became aware of Parkinson's disease, really, in particular when whenever you mention Muhammad Ali, the boxer, the great boxer, and then they say that it was because of boxing. That's why he got Parkinson's. Does it have anything to do with boxing, or maybe punching of the brain and all that? Maybe Guy, you can help me with that.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
He may have had a few other problems because he had a pretty tough old life. But Parkinson's is a standalone activity, which is purely a result of having not enough dopamine. And I don't believe there's a connection between the two.
There's no connection at all.
So none of us here are medical doctors. I'm not able to speak to whether the the trauma to his brain impacted or had any effect on that. But like Guy said, Parkinson's is caused by the loss of the dopamine producing cells in your brain.
Okay. Please, Maureen, please, can you help me? What are some of those symptoms? Because some guys might just be walking around right now and then he doesn't know exactly what is wrong with him. A lot of us currently in Nigeria looking for what to eat and all that, we don't take care of ourselves. What are some of those symptoms that once they start to feel should make them quickly go to visit a doctor to check?
I would say a neurologist, not just a doctor.
Okay, neurologist. Thank you for the
Yes.
correction.
Shuffling feet, where when you're walking, you find you're not lifting your feet. You're shuffling.
All right.
As my dad would say, sweeping the floor with your shoes.
Yes. Okay.
That's one of them. Your gait, just a bit of leaning over sometimes and becoming permanent. Rigidity, where your body is a bit stiff, or it may be just even one side, and you just find you're not really using that. We have the tremors. For some people, it actually comes through the voice first, where you begin to lose projection with your voice. Then the face. You for somebody who used to smile a lot or laugh a lot, all of a sudden the face is frozen.
Oh, okay.
Which could sometimes look unfriendly, but it's not anything that the patient has any control over. But they begin to have a face that's not expressing anything. Difficulty standing up.
Okay.
Difficulty rolling over in bed, for example. Then it starts to affect your ability to dress yourself, trying to pull a button together.
Please, let me quickly ask. Nigerians have this mentality of saying, na rich man disease, na rich man sickness. Please, is Parkinson's a rich man's sickness?
Parkinson's affects everybody. It does not matter what your socioeconomic status is. Anybody can have Parkinson's disease.
Una don't hear am. Anybody fit get am. No be just rich people. Before person go say, na people wey na rich people, na them they get am. No, anybody fit get am. So you were telling us some, when you mentioned some of those symptoms, and then I was thinking, are you not mentioning some of these things that anyone that has a stroke, that's what they think? Because so I don't know. Are there similarities?
Okay. Let me start with saying that there are different types of strokes. So
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but aneurysms, different things cause strokes. But a lot of the time, a stroke will paralyze one half of your body.
Yeah.
And some people get to recover and can walk about. Some people get paralysis on one side and they're dragging one part of their body along with them. Now, Parkinson's is totally different. Parkinson's also affects the brain, but it comes up with both motor and non-motor symptoms. Your motor symptoms are the ones that affect your mobility.
Okay.
And so there are balance issues where, because the patient is not lifting their legs properly or not balanced properly, they can fall. And that's a very high risk factor. They can have a stooped posture, which is leaning forward a lot of the time.
Okay.
Yes, so that affects the gait. Then you have difficulties walking, where because you're shuffling and the body is stiff, the steps are not big enough. Then there's reduced facial expression, as we talked about before.
Yeah.
Then there's muscle cramps as well sometimes. Then there's poor handwriting, which is gradual, but all of a sudden you think you've written something and really it's just 3 dots on a line. And unless you actually work to keep that going, it's something that you lose eventually. Then we have non-motor symptoms like mood disorders, lack of interest in doing things, anxiety, apathy, just not interested in doing anything, feeling sad, irritability, paranoia, not trusting the people around you. Then cognitive difficulties, difficulty focusing on things, difficulty planning, difficulty paying attention, or difficulty multitasking. Then there's sleep disorders, insomnia, disturbances during sleep, daytime sleepiness, and more.
Okay. So those of una wey dey hear, I know say na English we dey speak, but then una go need to understand, say people wey dey around you, you need to dey observe them well. People wey dey do certain things, certain ways, then they happy, jolly good fellow and all those stuff. But all of a sudden, they notice a mood, they change, things they happen. Not be every time be problem with person they think, na in the cause am. Yeah, you also need to see a neurologist. You don't hear them before, they don't talk them. You need to see neurologist. We go just check. They check. All these things them they important. When they talk, so you need to check from time to time. Yeah. So that you no go be like say, before then shoot bed the mama fly. It important. So Motola, so what is this whole awareness? What is Parkinson's Africa doing? Why is Guy also in Nigeria? What is going on?
So across Africa, Parkinson's disease is widely misunderstood. There's a lot of misconception about what causes the disease, how to treat and manage it. And I think most importantly, there's a lot of stigma associated with an illness like this. Many people are ashamed to be out with symptoms like mine, where your hands are shaking, and frankly, you look different. And you know, even outside of Nigeria, in other African countries, there's social isolation. People are ostracized. So what we're trying to do at Parkinson's Africa is raise more awareness, raise the levels of education of Africans impacted by Parkinson's disease, so that we can reduce the misconception and so that people can have less of a burden associated with stigma, which is one of the reasons we are very happy to partner with Guy, who is traveling from Sierra Leone to South Africa to raise more awareness of this illness, and I will let him speak about his story.
Okay, so Guy, so just a quick one. So you're here now. You're here for the same Parkinson's disease talk, workshop, and all that. So you have the floor. So take us through.
What I wanted to do primarily was to talk about the non-motor aspects of Parkinson's, because many people know and can spot the motor aspects, the shuffling and all the rest of it, but people don't know how we feel and how it affects your mood and how it affects the way you live and how you respond with other people. And I wanted to make that story very clear to everybody, and we're making a film of me going through my daily business on this trip so that people can see just how I react and how I'm feeling, and people understand how we are behaving and why we respond in different ways. But then when I met Omotola, I realized the story was much bigger than that, and I've been speaking to people as I go through each country and raising awareness on radio and on television so that people can understand a little bit more about Parkinson's, albeit primarily from my perspective, but also from those people who phone in and talk about Parkinson's, and just getting the conversation going, because there are many people out there who don't even know they've got it, and then when they hear about what I've been going through, they suddenly think to themselves, maybe I need to speak to somebody. And that is really my aim, is to make sure as many people get to hear about Parkinson's in general, and about the specifics about what it's like for people like me to live with it, so that we are understood and other people can help look after us better.
So they require that special attention. Anyone with Parkinson's disease requires that special attention, and shouldn't be.
It's not so much special attention, it's just understanding, because we don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We want to live ordinary lives, but it's very difficult. And if people just understand what we're thinking and going through, it makes life a lot easier for us, because we haven't got to explain ourselves all the time. You heard about how we don't laugh and we don't smile.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation to be in when you know that people are being friendly with you and you can't respond because you simply can't react.
Wow.
And if people understand that you're not being rude, you're not being ungracious, you're not being ungrateful, you just have real difficulty expressing your gratitude and emotion sometimes, and it's a horrible position to be in, because you feel you're not rewarding people with their kindness and generosity, which people have all the time. And that's one of the worst things about it, to be honest, for me.
All right. And then, so any program lined up for by the foundation? Any program?
Yeah, so we have a number of different activities. Parkinson's Africa, we're working on an educational campaign where we've partnered with the IPDGC Africa to create an educational booklet called An Introduction to Parkinson's, and we've translated it into 12 African languages. You have Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Pidgin, Somali, Swahili, and Twi, French, Arabic, and a number of other African languages. And we're trying to use this to break through the language barriers and get access to people who English is not their native language, so that they can read and understand Parkinson's. So we also have different awareness activities planned for this week. When Guy is around, we have an awareness walk, and a number of other things that people can find out on our website.
Okay, and your website is Parkinsonsafrica.com?
Yes.
Yeah, Parkinsonsafrica.com. Now the website be that. So those of now we won't go there, go read out more about what then they do for this their foundation. You go find out more. Parkinsonsafrica.com. Go there, go find out more. Make you go read and then learn more. They don't talk, say the most important thing. Now make you show people them we get Parkinson's, make you show them love. They need them. And not just they carry them, they keep. So we get this habit. Anybody we sick for our family, we go to keep them for boys' quarter. We go to lock them inside door. Lock them for backyard. Yeah? No be so. Now they need love pass. Now love and care where you show them. Now they need pass. So no go keep them for backyard. Now waiting then they do be that. Yeah? And then, you wanted to say something.
No, I was on.
Okay.
That is one of the worst feelings. This feeling like you should be ashamed of yourself, feeling like you should be hidden, feeling like you're a curse or an embarrassment to your family. For an illness that you didn't cause, you didn't, bring upon yourself. So I'm very happy that you said that about not making, putting the added burden of us feeling ashamed and that we need to be hidden in a corner somewhere. It's one of the worst things we can experience.
I beg, when I don't hear them, and then make una do waiting, make una try to show love, and then no forget, waiting we here today. It did very, very important. Make we do waiting, make we they go check, see neurologist and all those stuff, so that then go fit check you and then tell you waiting they do you specifically.
You never download the Wazobia FM app? Chai! You didn't miss Wella. Oh yeah, download our Wazobia FM app today on top Apple Store and Google Play Store. Make you fit listen anywhere and everywhere. Join the Chukmat family today.
Wazobia FM 95.1.
Chuk Mouth.